I'm not putting an asterisk on this game. Yes, I know Kansas City was without Chris Jones and Travis Kelce, but this is still the Chiefs. Now, I will give credit to both teams for playing an entertaining game. Both teams did things that were questionable, but that's just part of football. First, I want to talk about Patrick Mahomes. His passes were as good as ever, and he didn't run around the backfield like he's playing Madden. There was that interception, but we'll talk about that later. Mahomes finished the game throwing 21 for 29 and 226 yards. He would also pick up 2 touchdowns through the air. The rushing game featured Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Isaiah Pacheco, who would combine to rush for 45 yards. Part of that is due to the struggles the offensive line had, but to be fair, Detroit's defense simply outplayed the Kansas City line all night long. I'm not going to spend time on Jawan Taylor and how he was off the line and he jumped too early. Nothing he did seemed overly egregious to me, and it didn't really play a factor against Aiden Hutchinson. The receivers, however, I'm not going to be too kind with. I will give credit to Valdez-Scantling and Justin Watson for getting nearly 50 yards against a tough Lions defense. Noah Gray stepped into Kelce's spot with 3 catches for 31 yards. Rashee Rice and Blake Bell would both have a touchdown, but unfortunately, this is where the praise ends. The Chiefs receivers dropped 8 passes this game. I also want to draw attention to Sky Moore, who had 3 targets for 0 receptions, and Kadarius Toney, who had 5 targets, 1 reception, and was also targeted on the Lions' pick 6 in the 3rd quarter. Now, I don't think this interception should reflect on Mahomes' stats. I think it should be reflected as a dropped pass interception or something. I don't know. Dropped pass interception. I'm going to do my best to try and keep track of these throughout the season. On defense, Trent McDuffie led the team with 8 tackles, 3 others getting 7, and 4 others getting 6. Mike Dana would have the only sack of the night for KC. What could the Chiefs have done differently? Well, for one, I wanted them to bring less pressure on Jared Goff because the pass rush just wasn't getting to him all night long. I think if they had played more coverage, they might have had a better chance at stopping the passing game. They did a decent job against the Lions' ground game, but again, they gave up too much against the pass. On offense, however, I know it was hard to get the running game going, but the 8 dropped passes, that kills any bit of momentum the Chiefs had. Some of the play calling was questionable, but that still doesn't excuse the team for lack of execution. As for defending the pass rush, I think KC could have put a tight end to help block Hutchinson, or use more of the block and goes like what they started to do later in the game. That would have made a difference while also allowing KC to establish short passes. Now, I know that stopping the pass rush doesn't solely rely on blocking Aiden Hutchinson, but that still would have been a lot better than allowing him to get to Mahomes on what felt like every fucking play. Sorry, KC, no asterisks for this game. Jared Goff would go 22 for 35, throwing for 253 yards and 1 touchdown. David Montgomery would get 21 carries, 74 yards, and 1 touchdown. Josh Reynolds would have 4 catches and 80 receiving yards, while Amon-Ra St. Brown would have 6 catches for 71 yards and a touchdown. Not going to give Reynolds too much shit for only having 4 catches on 7 targets, considering he did pick up 80 yards. But Marvin Jones, however, 2 catches on 6 targets is cause for concern, especially when he has a fumble that was recovered by Kansas City. The pass rush didn't have to be elite because the KC line couldn't block a damn thing. Aiden Hutchinson was able to get Mahomes on 3 QB hits, while getting 4 tackles on the game. Alex Anzalone and Derek Barnes would both have 6 tackles, and Brian Branch would have an interception that would be returned for a Lions touchdown. As for what I think Detroit could have done differently, bring more pressure at times. They think you're dropping back into coverage, so why not surprise KC with the blitz? And the offense needs to take more shots through the air. All the screenplays are going to get recognized quickly if you rely too much on them. Open the playbook a little and let the offense cook. Once again, no asterisks for Kansas City.
They come in to Kansas City on opening night and beat the champs